Have you ever experienced that constant, annoying feeling of phlegm or mucus stuck in your throat? Maybe you wake up every morning clearing your throat, coughing more at night than during the day, or even feeling as though there's a lump lodged just behind your vocal cords. For many people, this is not just an occasional irritation. It's a daily struggle that interferes with sleep, focus, and even confidence when speaking. Today on Health for You, we're going to break down this problem in a way that's different from what you often hear. Instead of only looking at the symptom and trying to suppress it, we're going to dig deeper to understand the root cause. This way, you'll not only know what's happening in your body, but also why it's happening, and more importantly, what you can do about it. Why phlegm in the throat is not just a symptom. In modern medicine, conditions are often labeled according to symptoms. If you have constant mucus, it may be called postnasal drip. If your throat feels irritated, you might be told it's a chronic sore throat. But these are simply different names for what your body is doing in response to something deeper. The real challenge is uncovering why your body is producing so much mucus. When you think like an engineer instead of just a patient, you start to see patterns. Every effect has a cause, and every cause has a mechanism behind it. In the case of constant throat mucus, some of the most common explanations are allergies, viral infections, or exposure to environmental irritants. But in many people, the hidden trigger comes from somewhere you might not expect: your stomach. The hidden link: acid reflux disorders. Two related conditions play a huge role in throat mucus: GERD and LPR. GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease, happens when acid flows upward from the stomach into the esophagus. This can cause heartburn, belching, regurgitation, chest discomfort, and that familiar burning sensation after meals. LPR, laryngopharyngeal reflux, is a close cousin of GERD, but in this case, the acid rises even higher, reaching the throat, vocal cords, and back of the mouth. This can cause hoarseness, a scratchy throat, metallic taste, or the constant sensation of something stuck. Both conditions come from the same basic problem. The valve at the top of the stomach is not closing properly. This valve is supposed to act like a tight seal, keeping stomach contents where they belong. When it malfunctions, acid and sometimes even bile creeps upward and irritates delicate tissues. The body's natural response is to coat those tissues with mucus to protect them, which is why you feel constant phlegm. Why it's worse at night. You may notice that symptoms often intensify at night. That's because when you lie down, gravity no longer helps keep stomach acid in place. If the valve is weak or not closing tightly, acid has an easier time traveling upward. This explains why many people wake up coughing, clearing their throat, or even feeling short of breath during sleep. The problem with common treatments. When most people visit a doctor with these symptoms, they're prescribed antacids or proton pump inhibitors, PPIs. While these can bring temporary relief, they don't solve the underlying issue. In fact, they often make things worse in the long run. Here's why. Antacids neutralize stomach acid, but side effects can include constipation, bloating, and reduced nutrient absorption. PPIs block acid production almost completely. Over time, this can lead to mineral deficiencies, bone weakness, higher infection risk, and even cardiovascular problems. Both approaches treat acid as the enemy, but acid is not inherently bad. In fact, you need strong stomach acid for healthy digestion and immune defense. So while these treatments may stop the burning sensation, they often create bigger problems. The question we should be asking is, why is the valve not closing properly in the first place? The surprising root cause: low stomach acid. It may sound counterintuitive, but one of the most common underlying causes of reflux and chronic mucus is actually too little stomach acid, not too much. Here's how it works. When your stomach acid is strong, at a pH between 1 and 3, it triggers the valve to close tightly after eating. When acid is weak or diluted, the valve doesn't get the right signal to close. As a result, it remains partially open, allowing contents to leak upward. This creates the very symptoms people think are due to excess acid. But low stomach acid doesn't just cause valve malfunction. It also sets off a cascade of other problems: poor protein digestion. Proteins are only fully broken down in a strong acidic environment. Without that, larger protein fragments enter the intestines, stressing the digestive system and sometimes leaking into the bloodstream. This can trigger allergies or autoimmune reactions. Weaken defense against pathogens. Strong stomach acid is your body's first line of defense against bacteria, viruses, and parasites. If acid is weak, harmful microbes survive and move deeper into the intestines, causing conditions like SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. Mineral deficiencies. Minerals like calcium, magnesium, zinc, and iron require an acidic environment for proper absorption. Weak acid leads to anemia, fatigue, weak bones, and muscle cramps. Digestive imbalance. Low acid disrupts communication between the stomach, pancreas, and gallbladder, which need proper acidity to release enzymes and bile. This leads to fat malabsorption and further irritation of the gut. Why mucus builds up. When acid or bile rises into the throat, it irritates sensitive tissues. To protect itself, the body produces thick mucus as a shield. This is why you feel constant phlegm. It's not the root problem, but the body's protective response. Until the valve closes properly and acid levels are restored, the throat will keep producing mucus. Natural approaches to fixing the root. Cause. Instead of focusing only on suppressing symptoms, the better solution is to restore stomach acid balance and reduce inflammation in the digestive system. Here are some approaches. 1. Strengthen stomach acid. A natural compound called betaine hydrochloride can help increase stomach acidity when taken before meals. This helps the valve close properly and improves digestion. However, caution is needed. If you have ulcers or gastritis, adding acid may worsen inflammation. In that case, healing the stomach lining first, using nutrients like zinc carnosine, may be necessary. 2. Change your diet. Avoid grains and processed foods that promote inflammation. Contrary to common advice, grains often worsen reflux by irritating the gut and fueling immune reactions. Choose anti-inflammatory foods. Vegetables, healthy fats, and high-quality proteins from grass-fed or pasture-raised sources. Limit foods high in omega-6 fatty acids, which promote inflammation, and increase omega-3s for balance. 3. Try intermittent fasting. Instead of eating 5-6 small meals daily, try spacing meals further apart. Fasting for 16 to 18 hours gives the digestive system a chance to reset, reduce irritation, and repair tissues. 4. Be mindful of vegan diet pitfalls. Plant-based diets can be healthy, but poorly planned vegan diets often rely on grains, soy, and processed substitutes that damage digestion. A well-balanced vegan diet should avoid inflammatory processed foods and include a variety of nutrient-rich whole foods. Why quick fixes aren't enough. It's tempting to rely on medications or home remedies to soothe throat mucus, but unless the underlying cause, low stomach acid and a weak valve, is addressed, the problem will keep returning. True healing comes from supporting digestion, improving nutrient absorption, and restoring the natural acidity your stomach was designed to have. Final thoughts. A phlegmy throat isn't just an isolated nuisance. It's often a signal that your digestive system is struggling. By understanding how stomach acid, the esophageal valve, and your diet all connect, you can take steps that not only clear your throat, but also improve your overall health. If you've been relying on antacids or PPIs for years, consider asking your healthcare provider about the long-term consequences and whether restoring stomach acid might be a safer, more effective approach. And remember, your body doesn't create mucus without reason. Every cough, every lump sensation, every bit of throat irritation is your body's way of telling you it needs attention, not just suppression. On Health for You, we believe that when you look deeper, you find not just temporary relief, but long-term solutions that empower you to live healthier, breathe easier, and feel your best. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights on how to tackle hidden health issues naturally.